Hey everyone, I'm Evangeline right here at eTrailer. Today we're taking a look at how the Benton LittleShift single bike rack fits on a 2025 Kia Sportage. If you're looking for a quick and easy little rack to put onto your hitch, you can even leave it there so it's ready for you whenever you want to sneak in a quick ride before work. This is going to be super helpful and useful for you. It has an 80-pound weight capacity, so even if you have extra heavy electric bikes, you're good to go, but it fits pretty much any range of bikes. Now, for how the bike is loaded onto the rack, you do have 3 touch points. The first 2 are going to be your wheel straps. Press a lever, undo the strap, then you're good. Another strap on your rear wheel. I always like to pivot it out of the way of the spokes when possible. And then you come on over to the wheel mount. So you can use this as a wheel mount. You could also use this as a frame mount if you have bikes that have fenders. And what I'm going to do is holding on to the bike, we're just going to pivot this all the way out so that we can take the bike off. Now, with bikes different shapes and sizes, it's nice to have a rack that's adjustable too. Very simple design, but useful. When you look over at the cradles, you will see just their shape over there. That rear cradle can actually pivot back and forth for your different wheel bases. And since your cradle has, since this has that frame mount design, even for those kids' bikes, this is going to be one of the few bike racks of this style that is able to handle those. Now, since this rack does not fold up, does not tilt away, we don't really have to do anything with it. The reason it doesn't do that is because it takes up so little space on its own. So if you were to measure from the Sportage to the end of the rack, bumper to this lever, that's 16.5 inches. Pretty small, very compact. Now, if you measured from the bike rack to the ground, there is a slight shank rise. So end of the rack to the ground, 14.5 inches there. Measuring from the inside edge of that hitch receiver, that's about 12.5 inches there. I do highly recommend picking up the eTrailer anti-rattle collar while you're at it, just because there may be movement of the rack on its own, but when you tighten down that collar, it will really reduce it. Now you also have an anti-rattle pin that you tighten down with a wrench, but then you have to go bring out your wrench every single time when you can always adjust the tension with this collar. Another thing you can do with this rack is you can also use it as a hitch step. So on our Sportage here, we actually have a roof rack on there from the factory. So as someone that likes to go kayaking, this is a great use of the bike rack turned hitch step. Load the kayaks up on there, make sure everything is good. If I had, let's say, a rooftop tent or other items, let's say a ladder, being up here to just coordinate bringing that onto the roof is pretty helpful. Now I can't really strap things down from over here since it's so far away, but you can still see how it's just an extra little step that wasn't there before. Now with it so small, obviously you also have all your other features like being able to open up the hatch, grab things out of your cargo area, bring this back down, nothing to deal with or mess with here on your hitch. So with all things being said, if you're looking for a high or heavy weight capacity bike rack, something that you can use with your road bikes, mountain bikes, no matter what type of bike you have, but you also don't want to spend too much or take up too much room behind your vehicle, that's where this bike rack is pretty helpful. You can check out all the different videos and pictures here on the website, or leave a review of how this has treated you and your vehicle. Would love to hear all about that. But for focusing right here on the Sportage, I think it's a pretty good fit. You saw it right here. This was a look at the Benton LittleShift single bike rack on a 2025 Kia Sportage.